Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching StarSeries and we are in Season 7 and we're in Day 22 of 30 days in total. Day 22 will see 5 games in total. Am I saying that right? No, 4 games in total. It used to be 5, and for all those people that I think a couple of days ago I told they would see a Navi versus Fnatic, well, that game is the one that got postponed. It's now on Monday. But today we'll see 4 games in total. Poseidon versus RoX.KIS, then Menace taking on Power Rangers, Menace again up against Rattlesnake International, and then Power Rangers again, and that time up against Aspera. So those will be our games for today, and we're starting off with RoX taking on Poseidon. It's going to be one game. These two teams, they're not doing that bad in the group stages, I have to say. I mean, Aspera has played 10 games so far, has won 4, lost 6. I mean, definitely they could have been... they're missing Aspera? Why am I just describing Aspera's scores? They're not playing just yet. I mean, Poseidon. Poseidon is actually sitting at 9th place right now. They have played 11 games, have won 5 and lost 6. So Poseidon is sitting in the mediocre zone. Basically, they are okay with not getting dropped out to Pro Series, but they're also not going to be going to Kiev to the LAN finals. Not ideal, but at least you make sure that you're still going to be in the next season. At least, well, there's still a chance that they will be dropped down to Pro Series if they end up losing every single game that they have, and if some other teams are still winning every game that they have, but, well, I think they're pretty comfortable. RoX is about the same story, actually. They still have a chance to go to Kiev. They have lost 4 games, which is about a minimum that you can have in terms of lost games before you indeed have no chance anymore. I mean, 5 to 4 games is basically the minimum. There's no real, rule for that at all. It just depends on how other teams do, basically. RoX.KIS, they still have to face up against some of the better opponents, though. I mean, they still have to face up against Alliance. They still have to play against Virtus Pro. So they're definitely not out of the woods yet. And we're going to see if they can actually get themselves a win right here. So far, I mean, they're then on the same score as, or it's not the same score, but in the same boat as Poseidon. Just in the mediocre place. That's how it goes, unfortunately, for these teams, I guess. But they still want to have those points, of course. They still don't want to go to Pro Series. They still want to prove that they are indeed worthy of a spot. And, you know, last season there was actually at some point 10 seconds remaining. A couple of the teams that reached the top 4 weren't able to make it to Kiev. So what StarSeries then does is, you know, they look towards the 5th position, the 6th position. And RoX, so far, I mean, they're sitting at the 6th position. There is, you know, that slight chance, if you're lucky, to still go to Kiev. To still be in the money, of course, because that's what you are. If you are in Kiev, you're in there for the money. And even the 4th place already always wins some, so you're knowing that you've already won something when you go there. But let's take a look at the draft, because we have, of course, got a draft going on. RoX on the Dire side, Poseidon on the Radiant side. IO Barrider removed from the draft by RoX with the Visage and a Darkseer removed by Poseidon as the first 2 picks, and right now, I mean, the smart choice for removing Abaddon from the game, but I'm thinking maybe Poseidon still wants to go for a tree, because a Weaver and an OD definitely profit from a tree and Protector. If they want to pick it up, it's up for grabs, it's still in there. We have got the Razor banned out, of course, a standard counter towards the OD. There's still some other counters in there that you sometimes see. I say like something like a Kunkka we've seen before, also Shadow Fiend. Lifestealer. We've seen it all before and they're all still in there. Clockwork got removed from the pool by Poseidon as their last hero. And there's indeed the Kunkka, so that will be RoX's hero to be up against the OD. In theory, from what we've seen lately, is that Kunkka actually wins that lane. There's still a tree for Poseidon, no surprises there. We've got ourselves an Abaddon indeed banned out, as we already mentioned, but also the Rubik got removed from the pool. Strong support that RoX does not want to face. And perhaps that is meaning that we might see some more stealable things on the side of RoX. And with stealable things, I'm thinking like perhaps the Bane or something like that. I'm also thinking Enigma, but I'm not really expecting an Enigma here since the Nature's Prophet is already there. And I'm kind of thinking Nature's Prophet will probably be on the offlane and will then rotate into the jungle. And he doesn't want to have an Enigma in the jungle if he is there, because having an Enigma in that jungle is just not really, you know, not really fun. If you're a Nature's Prophet, you want to be farming there too, because he'll steal all your farm. It's not good. Luna gets picked up by RoX, so that will be their safe lane carry. probably supported by the Naga Siren, so looking solid thus far. They could actually say that Nature's Prophet is going to be just a jungler and still pick up a different offlane, depends on how greedy RoX want to be. So far, Poseidon, I mean, I like the OD and I like the Weaver. It's nice, and with the tree there, I mean, there's really... They are annoying lanes to face, and they're just solid lanes to have, and there's not really any chance of them losing lanes, but it's of course something different to actually win your lanes, and being able to at least take advantage of you being ahead. And right now, Poseidon doesn't really have anything in the mid game that can really dominate. An Earthshaker is definitely not one of the heroes that can do that. And I'm thinking along the lines of a Queen of Pain and Puck. Those kind of heroes can do that, and I'm not expecting those in the game anymore, considering we already have our mid matchup sorted out. But like, Luna can be aggressive very early on. I mean, she has got that Lunar Blessing, and you have got some Nature's Prophet treants there, and the illusions from Naga Siren. The pushing power is definitely strong for RoX. That's what they already can do. In about 10 to 15 minutes in, they can already start pushing. And Poseidon, they don't really have that much against that, apart from a Fisher right now, and they can heal their towers up again if RoX does a slow push, perhaps. But I mean, there's a lot of strength in the mid game now for RoX. Well, for Poseidon, they've got a lot of sustainability, but in terms of fighting potential, they don't really have that much. So that's all gonna be put in the last hero, I hope, for Poseidon. We're gonna see that one. Timbersaw was the last ban out for RoX, as they are expecting Weaver to be maybe on the safe lane with the Timber on the off lane. I wouldn't actually be surprised to see that Poseidon actually runs the OD on the safe lane and then just put something else up against the Kunkka that will win the lane. That would actually be very nice for them. Wow. I was not expecting that one. But I think Toby's gonna be very happy with this. Drow Ranger gets picked up, and she is going to be our hard carry for today. She's going to be our hard carry with Weaver on the offlane, and again, Drow Ranger will be our hard carry. There's a lot of burst damage up on RoX though, and that is so scary. If you already have got yourself like a Kunkka that with a splash does so much damage to a Drow Ranger, or Lucent Beam from Luna, it's a lot of burst damage. And Drow Ranger, she normally is a bit of a glass cannon. I'm not quite sure if she can live through all the bursts that RoX has, but we'll see what they are going to be able to do here, because a Drow Ranger, normally the reason why she's not picked up that often is because she is indeed a bit of a glass cannon, and she's easy to shut down in the early game. Now, and one thing that of course is in this game the case, which is maybe a bit, you know, disappointing for viewer purposes, or spectator purposes I should say, is that it looks like we're gonna have a fairly quiet early game, apart from perhaps an early push from Nexus on this Luna. But other than that, they don't really have that mid-game aggression, or early game aggression that you normally would see to shut down a Drow Ranger. We'll see how it goes. Let's see who's playing what. We have got Sakura for Poseidon on the Radiant side. He'll take on the Earthshaker. Illidan, Airman, Stormrage will take on the Drow Ranger, and everybody going mid or top thus far. Might see them trying to play some wards inside the enemy jungle, who knows. Medved or Jotun will play the Treant Protector. Xi or KSI will take on the Weaver. Will be going on the offlane. We'll have his Treant Armor to help him out. And then last but not least, it is Crazy or Tamar Wild playing the OD. 15 appearances. That's not that much. 6-9 record. Oh hey! You know, I didn't introduce the co-caster because I don't have one, but I also, because of that, I forgot to introduce our statsman for today. Our statsman, of course, is none other than Nahaz, as you have been seeing him do stats for the past weeks or so. For quite a while now already. Don't forget to show him some love on Twitter. On Nahaz Dota, as we have got RoX.KIS also venturing into enemy territory here, going up the high ground.
30 seconds.
Placing a ward. Making sure that no ancient stacking is gonna be possible for now. This is something, of course, I mean, if you pick up an Earthshaker, you can do that. You can lay down a Fisher, like right here, and make sure that all the creeps walk up the high ground, and you can trade down ancients with those, but not if there is if it's blocked. What Sakura could also do is place a Fisher here.
The battle begins.
And make sure that all the creeps move into the jungle. If you eat a couple of trees away here, then you can actually do that. But so far we don't see him do either of those things. The creep wave will just move forward. Haste rune picked up by Xi. This is a very scary haste rune, especially if you're considering that there is indeed a tree and protector on the map. So should things go south for Xi, then he will be able to get healed up again. But if he can find someone here, he can do a lot of harassment. He's not gonna try to go for it. Anyway, let's see our matchups. Or actually, let's see who's playing what for RoX, because of course I didn't do that just yet. BZZ will take the Kunkka in the mid lane up against that OD. Should, in theory, be able to outlast hit the OD slightly. We have got on the bottom lane is Nature's Prophet, played by Sidoy, as we have been seeing him play that hero for quite a while now, for quite some games in a row. On the top lane, we've got a trial lane composed of the Jakiro, played by Yol. We also got Nexus playing as Luna, and then last but not least, it is Android standing in for RoX.KIS, as we are used to. And he's on the Naga Siren already pulling and stacking, well not really stacking, but at least pulling, able to get some farm for himself and get some levels, forcing C here to maybe be a bit more aggressive. Gets his living armor up, continues harassing Yol. I mean, he has a Shikushi still, is just forcing Yol away. He really wants to have his level 2, of course. Gemini attack will be such a big factor for C here to allow him to continue to harass. As we have got Sakura trying to go for a pull, only gets one though. Sakura, who is trying to help out his Weaver. Should something go wrong, I mean, this Weaver has got basically a double safety net, right? There is the living armor coming off from the Treant, and there is a Fissure coming off from the Earthshaker. So that's a pretty decent lane here for this Weaver, although right now he's not going to be able to get any farm because the pools are done quite successfully for RoX.KIS, and with that they can actually delay the farm from Xi quite heavily. At the same time, they can't really delay the farm from the Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger sitting on 7-2. How often do we see a Drow? Not that often. One thing that's very important, by the way, for Drow, I mean, she's not just a glass cannon. Her silence is actually pretty important. And she's gonna try to use that, of course, to perhaps shut down the Naga Siren. Or at least, you know, no songs, no ensnares, or no ice paths, or no boats or torrents. There are a lot of different important heroes that you can aim to silence here on the side of RoX.KIS, so that's going to be a big thing there. She's, by the way, farming all by herself. We only have got the tree that is maybe a bit helping her out with living armors, but other than that, Jotun will be in the jungle, will be stacking and pulling if he can, will be farming in the jungle as much as he can. And perhaps stacking up some camps? No, he's not trying that. They're also not stacking up Ancients, or at least I don't think they realize that the Ancients have actually been blocked.
Double damage.
Oh, we do have them trying to go for Cedo here, though. He's actually trying to TP himself out. There is no silence yet up. Oh, he cancels his TP. He is actually going to try to go for this. Living Armor comes out on the Drow, though, but Living Armor already ticked off. Drow will be first blood. Cedo takes it home. He can still maybe TP himself out. Yeah, he blocks himself with the creep. One more punch needed for the tree. He doesn't get him. And now Jota blocked in by creeps. It's gonna be a double kill for Sidoy. What a start of the game for the Nature's Prophet. Double kill for Sidoy. First 2 kills of the game. Gets himself a Drow Ranger and a Treant Protector. Basically only because he was able to bait out them to try and go for him. He cancelled his TP. For a second there, I thought it might have been a wrong choice, but he saw an opportunity, he went for it, and it paid out especially well. Of course, the punch is not fast enough from the Treant Protector, and that means double kill. We've got an OD who's sitting on 16 last hits so far, 6 denies. BZZ, 19 for 4, so slightly ahead of the OD. Slightly behind on the knives, I guess, in a way, but that's all okay. In the meantime, Nature's Prophet going for Drow again. The Sprout's up. Drow, his living armor already off again. Cedo, he can still try and go for this. The tower not really helping him out all that much. One more hit needed. The Treants can actually do the job, and it will do the job. Cedo, he gets himself another kill. Drow Ranger falls again. In the meantime, we have a rotation coming out from a hasted Jakiro. Maybe we're gonna have a go upon the OD. I know Weaver died, but we're watching this one because this one kill is actually one we're not gonna miss. There we go. That's a kill for the Jakiro. Haste rune used to success. And in the meantime, the Weaver indeed on the top lane went down, was picked up by the Luna. Luna was able to get herself the first kill of the game there. And all across the board, RoX.KIS is getting kills on the lanes. The tower already dropped Cedoy. He is a solo off-lane Nature's Prophet who got himself a killing spree and a tower already. He's now trying to TP himself out. There is a silence this time though, and this time he might not be able to get away. He needs to have some sort of way to get out, but I don't think he can. The punch comes in time. This time Treant takes the kill. And that means that at least there is 1 kill now on the board for Poseidon. Means they have indeed turned the bagel into a breadstick. Oh yeah, that happened. Sorry, I have to say that sometimes. It's just funny. See, in the meantime, level 3, sitting on 13-0 with Nexus on 30-5. So yes, I said 13 for one and 30 for the Luna. So that's a very, very rich Luna. As again, Dro up against Sidoi. Where's the Treant Protector? Where's that Living Armor? Treant not around. Living Armor is around. In comes the Shaker. He does have a Fissure. Might help him out. The Treant's still chasing down on the Dro. And I mean, even if right now he doesn't get a kill, he's able to force her out of the lane. So good luck farming. I mean, look at the net worth of the Dro Ranger. It's even below that of the Jakiro at this point. Jakiro, I mean, he's got a kill, which is nice. He might actually get an assist on another kill here as C gets an ensnare. Living Armor already ticked off. At least C gets himself a kill on the Jakiro, but he still goes down. On the bright side, it does put Dro ahead of the net worth of the Jakiro. I guess that's okay for Poseidon. But right now, RoX.KIS, they need to be doing something because this is going from bad to worse, and this is showing why Dro Ranger normally doesn't get picked up all that often. She needs to have a safe farming time. And I think we can already say, like, this was not a safe farming time. No way that this is a safe farming time for her. Bad news, Dro Ranger. She is level 6. She has got that marksmanship, so that helps out. Gets herself some extra agility. Kind of curious to see what kind of impact she'll still have in later game and how much Tree can actually protect her later on. Treant, who, of course, I mean, he needs to get himself some experience, right? And it's... For a Tree, it's tough to get yourself experience. You kind of want to jungle, but you have to also protect your carry, and you know, you have to get that balance going. And he's of course trying to get those small camps down, but he can't really spare heals for himself because he has to use them on the lane. So he's leveling very slowly. Talking about someone who's not leveling slowly, this Nature's Prophet. Normally offlane Nature's Prophets, I mean, they sacrifice themselves for the greater good, aka they go for a bit of, you know, they try to harass the opponent, try to slow down the opponent's hard carry farm as much as they can, and then they realize, you know what, I've done my duty, now it's time to think of myself, and now it's time to get into the jungle, get some extra farm, get that Hand of Midas, and get back on track. That's, you know, that's your typical Nature's Prophet. This Nature's Prophet is a very different case. He is level 8 at the moment, which is the highest level in the game. And even though that's not something that's uncommon for Nature's Prophet to be the highest level in the game, he does it without having a Hand of Midas. We do now see Sidoi actually dying. This is Dro Ranger at its finest. One more hit, that's a solo kill for Illidan. And those are the kind of kills you have to get time and time and time again. With Sidoi, maybe now it's the time to rotate into that jungle after all. As Earthshaker is able to get himself a regen rune and denying it to Yol. Earthshaker level 4. Jakiro, by the way, also still level 4 as OD sits at level 7. I mean, we see the levels. It's very much in favor of RoX. Only Drow now. Actually, oh, are we gonna see Fissure? No, here comes an Ice Path. Bit of a push going here. There is a song up as well, so should things go south, the song will be there to stop initiations from happening. Trees level 5, just still. There's no overgrowth. They're still gonna come in though. Look for the Fissure. Want to go for the Naga Siren, but like I said, he's level 6. They're gonna try to force out the song. Oh, too late! The tree still goes down, but Naga Siren is the first to drop. Dro Ranger comes in. Kunkka cannot TP out. Another kill going the way of Illidan. One more hit for the courier, and that's another kill. It's a courier kill, but it's just as important, maybe even a little bit more important at this point. But more gold going the way of Poseidon, and Dro Ranger makes a comeback. Now sits on 2-2-2. It's been in 4 out of the 5 kills of her team thus far. And all of a sudden, is back on track. Highest level on the map, still not that good on the farm though. I mean, she's still below the Kunkka, below the 3 cores based RoX.KIS. But she is making a comeback, and she is making a stand for herself, letting it be known that she is not the helpless creature that she is before she reaches level 6. BCZ. 37-4. I mean, compared to the OD, he is a bit behind right now. I mean, the later the game goes, the more intellect in total OD will steal, so the more easier last hitting for him will be. But he's definitely not doing bad. He is actually going bottom. Perhaps he can lay down some harassment on the Dro Ranger. Could be possible. 2 level difference right now though in this Dro. I'm still very curious to see what she's buying first. If she's gonna go for Shadowblade or something like that, or if she's gonna go for something different. Second match we see Face Boots on Dro. There's Courier, yep. Without those phase boots, that wouldn't have been a courier kill. That extra attack damage, making sure that it was a 2-shot on the Star Ladder Dire Hound. Box Hound? I think it's a Box Hound. Not quite sure what the name is. Season 6 courier anyways. Naga Siren sitting in the top lane, maybe wanting to help Nexus a bit with the push. We haven't seen Nexus in a while, at least I haven't talked about Nexus in a while, but he is highest on net worth at the moment, as you can see. He's going for the Helm of the Dominator, and he is going for a push, and in comes also Cedo to try and help with that one. There's already one tier 1 tower down. We also have got Kunkka teleporting in here to the top lane. This is 5 heroes of RoX.KIS on the top lane, trying to get some extra gold. And I mean, right now you saw the living armor already on and then off again. That can't save your tower right now. That just can't. Hanamida still picked up by the Nature's Prophet. In comes Sakura looking for a Fisher. Finds it up on Nexus. In comes the Song though. Silence still up on Nexus, but not on the Naga Siren. The boat comes in. They want to take down Yol. They will be able to do that. Actually, they want to take down the OD. I mean, that's OD dead. Drow Ranger still going down as well. That's a Luna with a kill. Weaver ensnared, but there is already a dust up, and the ward was there. There's no time lapse anymore. X marks the spot, puts him back in the hands of RoX.KIS, and they get themselves the 4th kill. They already got themselves also the Earthshaker, and that means that we're gonna see another tower going down. RoX.KIS, their team fight, immense, able to just take down everybody. Everybody is so squishy up on both sides, but right now Poseidon, they just have the better push, they just have the better team fight, and that's already something that I mentioned during the draft. Right now, between the 10 and 15 minute mark I said during the draft, but I think we can make it 20 actually at this point, before everybody of Poseidon is able to catch up with everybody of RoX. But the pushing power and the strength that RoX has, there's not that much that Poseidon can do against it, apart from maybe lay down a Fisher, and that's just not enough. You can stop something from happening, but you can't really stop it after the fact. Nice S from Imprisonment, keeps him safe from the Torrent, but the Ice Path will still be there. In comes a Leech Sheet and Living Armor. Fisher helps him out as well. Macropire, he's standing right in it. Senate's Eclipse doesn't do really all that much damage. I'm not quite sure why Crazy thought that would be a smart choice to throw that out. It works though. Fishers, Senate's Eclipses, it all works to help force RoX out of that mid lane and still have the tower left alive. And it is indeed a Shadow Blade that Drow is aiming to build here. Just needs herself the Shadow Amulet. It's gonna be a while. I mean, her farm's still really not all that high, though right now she is the highest of her team. But if we compare that to the cores of RoX.KIS, there's a big difference. And of course, I guess, I mean, it's a very simple explanation. There's 3 towers down on the side of Poseidon, while there's only, well actually, there's no towers at all down on the side of RoX. So that's going to be a big difference there, as we have got Xi taking a bit of harassment here from BZZ. Xi, who hasn't been getting that much farm. I mean, he was an off-lane Weaver, so he is not going to be of a big impact until later on. He now has the time to perhaps get some more farm, but he's not going to have a big impact. Neither is OD. He might be having a bigger impact once he has this mechanism, but it's still about 300 gold away. Perhaps with the first tower, that would be something, but right now they can't just go for a tower just yet. We actually have Naga Siren hanging around here, hanging around the mid lane. Might try to have a go up on Crazy here. And right now, I mean, RoX, they look solid. They had a plan. Weaver goes down on the top lane. They're still on the sentry. That's actually not even an Eclipse use. That's just a burst damage from these 2 heroes. Actually, I'm quite surprised that he still went down there, even though he did use his time lapse. Wasn't enough. Rotation goes middle from these 2, by the way. Nexus and BZ. 2 cores already roaming for kills. In comes an ensnare. OD got out. Storm Prism is still on the Jakiro. In comes a pause. Treant will... Actually, he already did Living Armor. I think it actually went on... Yeah, it is on the... up on the OD. 7 instances. Puppy Paws, according to Villat. Well, we'll see about that one. And this Luna... She doesn't even... Like, normally you see Luna going for Helm of the Dominators and then go for BKB, but she doesn't even need that. They know that right now Poseidon, before the 20-minute mark, they don't have any reasons to really, you know, be afraid of Poseidon. Nexus can just go for this. And he's going for Manta Style, so very push heavy. They're looking to They're aiming to take this down before the 25-minute mark, I think. And I think they have a good shot at it too. I mean, this Luna hasn't died a single time just yet. Has already got 4 kills under her belt, 2 assists. It's looking pretty damn rich if you ask me. And she's gonna be looking richer if they get this kill, which they might be getting. In comes Tito as well. They still want to go for the OD. In comes a Sprout. Fisher tries to help out and might be enough. It does force RoX to not chase that anymore. In comes X mark the spot still. And no torrent, no boat. Everything cancelled. Astro imprisonment there, especially since they saw that everybody came in, even the Drow Ranger. Oh, never mind. In comes the song. Early cancel on the song. Wow. Bit of a misplay there by Android. Not quite sure what he was aiming for there. And right now, might see a Sakura trying to lay down a perfect Fisher. Silence up on the high ground. Nexus taking some harassment. In comes now a boat. That might be something. Jotum already going for the overgrowth though. Locks in 3. OD trying to pick up something. Wrong Fisher coming off from Sakura. Sakura actually blocking the OD. In comes the Eclipse. Down goes the tree. Down goes the Drow. And now the next onwards is the OD. What an awkward fight this is. Another Fisher. That one actually helps out. In comes an Echo Slam. Down go Luna and Kunkka. And that might be all that Poseidon needed to turn this fight around. They already were able to pick up the Naga Siren. They're not able to pick up the Jakiro anymore, even though he gets away barely with an inch of his life. That were misplays from both teams. I mean, we saw a song started up here and cancelled when everybody was here, and not really like, and then everybody went this way and split up 2 different directions, with the Fisher going this, with OD sitting on this way, so he couldn't pick up the Jakiro there. It was weird fighting from both teams. In the end though, Poseidon gets himself ahead. They get the long end of the 6. OD right now goes down still though. Caught out of position. See, you better run. Has got a time lapse up. Living armor helps him out. He's trying to Shikushi himself away. Dro still able to pick up the tower. Just comes in and snipes it. Runs herself away with the face boots. 1 step closer to having that Shadow Blade complete. I mean, she did go down in that previous fight. See, still fighting, still running, and is running successfully so right now. There he goes. Up the high ground into the safety of oh. That's not enough. Close though, very close. Roshan attempted by RoX.KIS. I still cannot get over the fact, what a weird fight that was. A lot of sentries placed, by the way, by RoX.KIS. Just to take down that Weaver in the end. Weaver is still sitting there in the dire side. Now realizing that he might be in some trouble, but he's out in time. No go for the Roshan anymore from RoX though. They like walking through those sentry wards really helps out. No observers needed. Poseidon not trying to go for it just yet though. They don't want to take it themselves. They don't really have the amount of like if you want to take down Roshan right now, you have to do it very fast, and Poseidon just doesn't have the damage to do it really fast. They're gonna try again. Here comes the Fisher. Courier's still hanging around. He's got a Shadow Blade ready for Seedoy. And of course the Manta Style almost ready, as in it's already there, but in the stash still for Nexus. In comes Seedoy. I think down goes the Roshan as well. Right now Poseidon can't get there in time anymore. So they'll have to give it up. And they'll have to fight that Luna twice if they want to take her down again. Here comes Ice Path. OD, you're so out of position, and Snare is helped by the Astral Imprisonment for now, but in comes the song. Nexus wants to turn this around, turns on his Eclipse, goes for it. Looking for people. Nice Fisher though, stopping everything in its tracks. Of course OD still went down, but there's no surprise for that. But at least they RoX.KIS. They don't get more of the use of their big ultis. As Dro shows that she has a Shadow Blade as well. The tier 1 will still drop. There's really not that much that Poseidon can do against it right now. Question will be, what's RoX gonna aim for now? Like, is that still tier 1 tower, or which tier 2 do they want first? The bottom tier 2 already down to half HP. I mean, Seedoy can of course split push.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And Poseidon is gonna be too slow to answer to this one. There is still fortification actually. They're not gonna use it though. You use your fortification now, you can't use it anymore if the opponent team decides to try and go high ground, and you kinda need that. And it's not like they could prevent a tower from going down, really. Weaver seemingly going for BKB. Will take a while before she reaches that though, or he. Forced off a mech up on Crazy, which is nice and important. If it's enough, I don't think so. He's highest on net worth right now, and he's still continuing to farm. They kind of need a Hex though to be able to deal with the rest coming out of RoX. And we actually have got the Dro, the one to try and go for the most aggression here, which is quite surprising. I mean, Dro is overall a bit of a hard carry. In comes a Sprout, still standing in fire. Torrent hits upon the Earthshaker, in comes a boat as well. Earthshaker, Sakura, just one hit away from dying. Still lands an Act 1 official though. That's gonna be worth it. Nature's Prophet Ultimate still picks up the Earthshaker. Down goes the Naga also. Dro with living armor tries to run herself out of there. Tree himself makes himself invisible, as we have got Xi walking himself out. Oh, Dro getting dusted up and killed off. Nature's Prophet in the end getting 2 kills out of that engagement, and all they lost was a Naga Siren. It's not over just yet. OD trying to run for it. Force staff already used. Mechanism now as well. We'll make sure that RoX will take the creep wave with them and just go for the tower instead. The last outer tower they have standing. And of course, normally I would say, well, after all the outer towers are done, you go for the Roshan, you go high ground. But at this point, RoX already has an Aegis, so they don't really need to go for the Roshan anymore. They already have that, so they can just go high ground right now as Fisher. Nice format Fisher. It's just harassment though. I mean, really, they can't fight them right now. They can't stop them. They don't have that high mid game thing going on right here. They don't have the right heroes for that. If they want a Drought to have that, they should have given her a safer lane. They should have done something to make her lane safer. Let's put it that way. Right now, RoX is not doing anything just yet, though. At least not high ground mid. They're gonna go maybe bottom. One of the things that's on the that's an upside for going on the bottom lane is that you can try to split push with top, meaning that at some point Poseidon will have to rotate top to push a creep wave back, and at that point, the same second, RoX will aim to push it on bottom. But we'll see how far they get with that. Still, Weaver is not going to be in the fight if it happens right now, because Weaver is still on the top lane. He does have a TP, of course. If he wants to come back, he can. Drow Ranger sitting in the base, already laying down some hits on Nexus. Look at the damage. It's a lot of damage that Drow can actually do. Illidan, definitely no joke. Torrent comes in a snare as well, and it hits. And you're not invisible if you're in there. Riptide still hits, but nice force staff to safety from the OD. In comes a Fisher as well. Tower already down to half HP. Nexus, I mean, he has the Aegis. He's not going to be sad when he dies, because he'll come back with full HP. That's an Aegis gone indeed. Illidan able to do that one. X marked the spot, up on the OD. He has got his ass for imprisonment. We'll use it. In comes the Eclipse. They go from the low ground here. It is Earthshaker that's already dead. Dro forced back again as Xi comes in. Buyback from the Earthshaker. Down goes the Naga Siren and Jakiro. Senati's Eclipse doing tons of damage here. RoX.KIS on the run, trying to TP themselves out. Arrow to the high ground. BZZ, I think you're a goner. In still comes a boat, but the boat will miss. And that's gonna be Dro still with the kill. 3 dead in the end. 2 go in the way of the OD. And the other one go in the way of the Drow Ranger. Still a buyback needed for the Earthshaker, and they still lost their tier 3, so next push it might not end well for Poseidon, but they forced them out. They buy themselves some extra time, and that's all they need right now, time. If you don't have time, you can't get your items up for a Weaver. You need to have more time to get your items up on the OD, and you definitely need more time to have more items for the Drow, who has got a Gem of True Sight, now that she got that from the Naga Siren. But doesn't have any extra items just yet next to their Shadow Blade, so she kind of maybe needs a BKB or something like that. The downside is, like, in this game, you'd really need a BKB to withstand the nuke damage that comes out from Luna's Lucent Beam and Ice Paths and Macropyre. That's not nuke damage, but still annoying. The downside is, if you are indeed having a BKB, you are the only target that RoX.KIS have if there's a song. So that basically means that Android's job is going to be really simple. The moment that Dro hits her BKB, he sings, and everybody focuses on Dro. Dro dies. There's no way she doesn't. Unless there's already a fissure there where nobody can pass, but in that case, an android should not go for a BKB. Oh, sorry, for a song rather. BKB was up on Luna, is why I said it. Having that one complete. And already RoX is coming back to the bottom lane. 3 heroes now in the Radiant jungle. They still have 2 in the Dire jungle though. You'll hang around there together with Cedo. Of course, Cedo can TP back whenever he wants to. Yul kinda can, but he's just gonna go for wardings. 4 staff now ready up on the Jakiro. We also have ourselves BKB ready up on the Weaver finally, so that's gonna be his first bigger item. I'm gonna see if RoX will make the next stand or if they're gonna wait for another Aegis to come, and when that Aegis comes, maybe try to go high ground then. And BKB indeed still the target here for the draw. Like I said though, it's a double-edged sword. It is. You kind of. Oh, X marked the spot. OD is looking to turn this around or looking to try and make something happen. XC comes in as well, but they're outnumbered right now, and now OD realizes that as well. XC will just continue farming. In now comes a draw. I'm not quite sure what they think they can make happen. I mean, they're with 4 there for RoX.KIS. And they were max 3 there for Poseidon. They end up backing off indeed. His Nature's Prophet has completed his side of the Vice. Now we really see that indeed Poseidon is behind on items. The gold difference is 14k in favor of RoX.KIS, with the experience graph going towards the 3k for RoX. I mean, it's not that much. But that's because RoX has been fighting all 5 together. Last couple of fights. And of course has actually lost some heroes. This was that drop. When you kill off heroes that are so much higher level than you are, which was the case for Poseidon in the previous fight, then you get a lot of experience in return for that, of course. Looking at the experience, OD is now the highest level together with the Luna and the Nature's Prophet, sitting at level 15. Still a couple of level 14s up on Poseidon though. Both the Drow and the Weaver. Like, we see that the experience difference mostly lies in the supports. It is the Earthshaker that is still level 9, which is actually a pretty big thing because it's Echo Slams. He's been able to use them because even without a Blink Dagger, I mean, RoX.KIS moves up the high ground and he just walks in and fissures, and he's able to do that. So having a level 2 Fissure is going to be, or Echo Slam rather, is a big thing. We'll see when he gets that. Also, Overgrowth, definitely something that when pushing up the high ground is very an important thing to have, as in when you are getting pushed up on the high ground, especially if you're a tree, because if you're on the bottom lane, well, normally there's, look at that, speak of the devil, normally there's trees here. You can actually stand here as the tree and protector and be ready to overgrowth, like right around here, before they actually realize that you're there. So that's a big thing for Poseidon, a big tool for Poseidon to initiate on. And of course, if everybody is stuck in place, then Drow can just do her thing and hit things. And perhaps even get an AoE silence off to prevent the song from going off. I mean, that's also something that you have to keep in mind. Are they gonna smoke? That looks like they are. Yul had himself some smoke brought to him. Question is, where are they gonna gather? Or are they just gonna wait for Roche? They're first gonna wait for Roche. Roche is up. We do have everybody of Poseidon moving top. So they probably realize, you know, Roche is up, but we can't really fight for it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna at least take something in return for the Roshan. And that's gonna be a tier 1 tower. I think that they might have been too late with starting to push that top tower though, because right now RoX, they might be able to just TP in and still take a fight. Naga Siren, if she's the first one to TP, there's gonna be a song. Never mind. Tower still goes down. Luna still takes the Aegis. Weaver with the tower gold here on the top lane as there's a BKB ready up on the Kunkka. And that's gonna be a push bottom. RoX.KIS looking to end the game. Not as fast as I was expecting, but oh well. So going for it. In comes the TPs.
Is under attack. Radiant under attack.
Luna already hitting up on those wrecks. There's still fortification. They still don't want to use it though. Leech Sheet gives some HP back. Here come the bugs. Looking for the perfect initiation. We see this Naga Siren already hanging back. Oh, see, is he cut out of position? He might have been. In comes the song though. The Rack's already dead. OD, very far up front. Turns on his BKB. Tries to go for something here. In comes an overgrowth. Very good one. Treant will still end up going down. He's the only one thus far though, saving his team right now. But in comes the bouncing blades. RoX.KIS is not forced out of the base just yet. Maybe now they will. In comes the Sanity's Eclipse. Everybody of RoX.KIS trying to back off. Yul taking a lot of damage. Is going to earn charge. Keeps him back up to life. Down goes Seedoy. Ensnare up on the Treant. He already died once. He cannot afford to die again, but he will die again. Double kill for the Kunkka as Xi comes in to try and take a kill upon the Jakiro, but he'll just be able to TP himself out. The Rex went down, which is all that RoX.KIS really cared for. They lost to Luna. Fair enough. It's the only hero they lost. They actually got 2 heroes in return, or are they going to lose Seedoy as well? They look to be losing Seedoy as well, indeed. At the start of the fight, by the way, the Roshan still ended up going down. Seedoy lives. Seedoy lives. Yep, there we go. Nice attempt, Sakura. As Kunkka is still around here. Still wants to go for Xi. He has a Gem of True Sight, of course. That's why he's able to change like this. There's Living Armor up again. Is he still gonna try this? He has another Xbox spot in a second. Yeah, he's gonna try this. Here comes a Tauren. BKB turned on. Wow, that's gonna be a BKB charge forced out by BZ. That's a good one, actually. It's not that bad. Still RoX.KIS in favor, and they still took the racks. Not ending the game just yet. But Poseidon, of course, once again, taking a big blow in the face. Having bought their Treant, it's not even that bad, but it's still, I mean, they lost the racks. They stopped Drow Ranger, they stopped Xi from farming again. Seedoy was forced to buy back at the fight, and as said, the courier did went down. That was what Xi was doing there. On that side. Courier was empty, however. But only 2 lanes left for RoX.KIS to take, as we have now a Blink Dagger for the Naga Siren. So the song initiation is even stronger right now for RoX.KIS. I mean, the song initiation is already pretty strong to begin with, but a lot stronger right now. BKB ready on Drow Ranger. We already saw her using it, of course. Not down to 9 seconds right now. And because the OD has a BKB as well, it's not that bad. I mean, Weaver has a BKB right now as well. It's not like what I said earlier. If Drow would be the only one with the BKB, she would be the only target when a song was going on. But right now, there's actually 3 targets. And that's pretty neat thing right there. Gem up on Drow. Getting that map control back and that vision back right now. Map control definitely in favor of RoX. They've got, well, this one is about to disappear, but they have the wards right now. There's only 1 observer ward up on the Radiant side, which is just placed, this one. 2700 gold up on the OD. Expecting him to go for the Scythe of Ice still. Might take some time though, because you already all want to save for buyback right here. Because next fight, I mean, we already saw the tree buyback. It's kind of needed. If you want to buy time for your team to farm, you need to be able to win these fights. And if that means buying back, so be it. But you have to be able to buy back. $1,500 gold for the Weaver, who's seemingly going for a Desolator. Still far away from that one. Has almost got an next Minthra Hammer, but again, maybe he wants to have buyback. He has got buyback right now. And I would imagine him to not want to buy anything until he either has that next item or has buyback. Luna farming in the Radiant jungle, why not? Sitting pretty rich right now. Going for the butterfly. I mean, there's nobody anywhere close towards an MKB. I mean, even Weaver is going for a Desolator. Not preemptively countering well, butterfly from Nexus. Weird movements from Nexus in the jungle. Well, right now, Poseidon, I'm kind of expecting them to try maybe go for a smoke up. I mean, they're not in favor of this game thus far. I think they got that too, right? So what do? You can't just be sitting ducks and wait for RoX.KIS to push up the high ground, because pushing up the high ground is something that with a Luna you're not gonna win. Even if you get some kills, your tier 3 tower will probably die as well. So I would suggest for Poseidon to go for pickoffs. And to try and get some... Well... Get some smoke, get some kills. Make sure that RoX.KIS cannot push in so that you can continue farming maybe a bit more safer than what they're doing right now. Because what they're doing right now is just farming whatever comes to their lanes. They're not farming their jungle, they're not really farming anything like the enemy jungle. So they're only farming the top lane, bottom lane, and middle lane. And right now, bottom lane is only giving half the gold because the Rex are dead there, so there's mega creeps there, so they only give half the Rex. And they need to do something to get the control back, or at least of their own jungle. Get a gank going, go for a smoke, get yourself a pick off. $12-5 with the blink dagger on the Naga Siren. NV approved. Still not being put to use though for Android. Well, he has used it, but he hasn't been really trying to initiate with it. RoX.KIS, are they gonna wait again for another Aegis? I mean, we've seen them do that just before, and I understand why they would do it, but I don't really like it because it just means that we're only gonna have fights like every 10 minutes, which is really not that ideal. I mean, they're 20k gold in favor right now, 12k experience. You'd expect them to be able to make something happen, but oh, in comes the smoke though. That's gonna be something at least for Poseidon. Let's see if they can make something happen with it. If they can actually find someone with it, which is probably the biggest question. Sitting behind the OD. OD is a bait right now, but look at the minimap. RoX.KIS is not even responding to it. Still have the mid lane farmed out by the Weaver at the moment. Well, living armor will keep the trees, keep the towers up, which is great. I think perhaps RoX is trying to make their way over top. Cedar, of course, we don't have to worry about him because he can just be there whenever it needs to be. But now 3 heroes already top for RoX.KIS. The only one that they're missing is Luna, who is well, waiting for the creeps to respawn in the Radiant jungle, continuing to make sure that Poseidon doesn't get that extra bit of farm in their own jungle. And now with the butterfly ready, no, they're not trying still. I think they're really waiting for the next Roshan. They're really just saying, you know what, we are successful in fighting if we have an Aegis, and if we don't have an Aegis, we're not gonna fight. Well, would you look at that? Kinda makes for a dull Dota. Understandable, nice haste room for y'all. He's having a courier bringing him something though that could end badly. No, it's gonna be fine. Or is it? Courier's still there, but yeah, they back off. Courier will live. I mean, that courier has been picked up twice already.
Top tower is under attack.
I doubt it will want to die again. I really wonder what it says there. 435 games viewed, Android. Well, this Kunkka sitting at a nice bundle of items here, and yeah, Roshan it is. Well, congrats. They get it. I don't think that Poseidon cannot fight, even though they are kind of needing to try and take this, try and fight this. Even if they wanted to, which apparently they want to, they're gonna be too late. They're just too late. Probably had the timer slightly off or something, or just moved too slow. Oh, in comes the song. Well, that's gonna allow Roshan to be picked up. It's actually not that too late, I guess. Boat still comes in. Ice Pet doesn't hit anymore. BKB turned on by the Drow. Looking for more targets, because he jumps himself in, actually time-lapses himself out as the BKB already turned on by BZZ, who has a cheese as well. In comes the Astral Imprisonment, keeping the Nexus out of play. Down, there's the BKB trying to chase down the OD perhaps, or are they looking for another target? They're looking for more targets. Cinoy is going to be the target first. Down goes C as well. That was a Luna pickup that he was able to get. In comes a Fisher, an Echo Slam, Sakura, Synergies, and Calypso. Team fight it is there. Nexus low, loses his Aegis. BZZ already uses his cheese. Gets away on 100 HP. And maybe try to save his Nexus. There's still some slows going on. Is it enough? In comes a boat into an ice path. It is the bouncing blades. The Treant goes down. More BKBs turned on. Nature's Prophet picks up the OD. And that's going to be 4 dead, with the only one surviving is the Drow Ranger. In the end, the boat prevails. It looked so good for Poseidon at one point, but then Nexus came back up. More BKBs used. And down goes everybody. The ship came out. I mean, the team fight up Poseidon, definitely something to laugh about, because they've got this Echo Slam, Sanity's Eclipse Overgrowth combination. It's really powerful. But once they've done that, they don't really have that much anymore. And then RoX.KIS keeps coming with spamming ice paths, and the boats, of course, a very short cooldown as well, which was the second boat of the fight. On the bright side for Poseidon, they did take down the Aegis, and with the buyback on the Earthshaker and the OD, they actually keep their base. So they don't really lose any tier 3 towers or anything like that. They're tier 4, very low, but can be healed up again by the Treant. Sorry for the sounds. But I mean, RoX.KIS is not pushing high ground. They don't have an Aegis, and I really hope that they're gonna try at least to not wait again till the next Roshan is up, because I think they might have noticed by now that the longer they wait, the stronger the team is gonna be that they're up against. I mean, this Drow is still farming, going for an MKB now that he knows that there is a butterfly right there. They go for maybe the Drow. The BKB gets turned on though. Fisher gets put down as well. They really want to go for someone, but they can't really find anybody. Maybe BCC is going to be a good target here. In comes Android though. He has got a song, and Snare's there first. No song even needed. C still looking for something. Android still has the song. There is the song. And this is laying down for a nice ice path that way if he wants to. In comes Nexus as well. BKB turned on. Doesn't have an Eclipse, but it doesn't matter. Down goes the tree. Perhaps. No, he lives. Now he dies. Earthshaker dies with him as well. C time lapses, but it's to no avail. He'll get picked up. Double kill for Cinoy. Killing spree for Luna, and now they can take down the OD and go high ground. Drow Ranger buys back. GG already called though. That's gonna be a game ender. A game ender in favor of RoX.KIS, who were able to make sure that Poseidon just chased himself to death. Got trigger happy and ended up paying for it. That song, too short cooldown to be dealing with that one. Drow did not win herself a first game in StarSeries this season, unfortunately for her. But we did see RoX.KIS taking another point to their name. We are gonna see another game after this one, though. We are gonna see Menace taking on Power Rangers. Power Rangers, one of the teams that a lot of people have been really exciting to see lately, and I hope that they can deliver this time as well. We're gonna see if they can do good up against Menace, who of course are the Finns that we haven't seen in a while, but luckily for us, we're gonna see them twice a day. Once up against Power Rangers, and after that up against Rattlesnake International. But stick around, more Starladder action coming up right now. Star Series Season 7, Day 22. That's all the numbers, and this was of course Game 1 of 4. We'll be right back.